We are all women. We are feeling it right now. My name is Amanda James. I am the co-chair for the Tallahassee Steering Committee for Equality Florida. Equality Florida is the largest LGBT, and if you don't know what that means, that is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender civil rights organization in the state of Florida. We have offices all over Florida. We mobilize volunteers to get legislation passed that greatly affects you, whether you are LGBT or not. It's hot up here. I just want to say that. So, I want to get real here for a second, because when I usually speak in front of people, I'm preaching to the choir. And I thought it was very interesting that when I knew I was going to speak here, I actually felt fear. I'm afraid to speak in front of people who I do not necessarily know are the choir. I'm a lesbian. I just came out to a whole crap load of people. And that is scary. That is scary. It's nerve-wracking. I just want to put that out there. That's where I'm coming from right now. Because that's a real fear, and that really is what this is all about. So why does this matter to Equality Florida? When I was offered the opportunity to speak, I was faced with a challenge. I had to figure out how the LGBT community plays a role in women's liberation. The obvious connection is that lesbians are women, so obviously it affects our community. Once I started doing some digging, I learned that our connection to the women's movement is much more complex than simply saying we are women. Today we stand here because we are not done yet. We, as women, still face the oppression that sexism has bestowed upon us. Not only related to equal pay and equal opportunity, but also in how we perceive people. Whether we like it or not, we pass judgment on people through the goggles of sexism. We must overcome and destroy it in order to achieve true equality. In the LGBT community, sexism rears its ugly head and shows up as homophobia. Homophobia works effectively as a weapon of sexism because it is joined with heterosexism. Heterosexism is the systemic display of homophobia in the institutions of society. To be perceived as a lesbian threatens male dominance and control, which is at the very core of sexism. To be named a lesbian threatens all women, with great loss. Any woman who steps out of role risks being called a lesbian. The fear of loss is so great that every woman is faced with the pressure to maintain her role as a woman in society. Either you're in or you're out. Let me remind you, I am a lesbian, and I'm out. Although every woman is hurt by homophobia, by its control of her life, through fear and by its effect in limiting social change, lesbians suffer the most damage because we are double victims of sexism and homophobia. From men and heterosexual women, even feminist and progressive women. This is very real. We have an opportunity here to take the final steps in squashing sexism and succeeding in true liberation for all women. At issue here is not whether women can be married or have children or wear makeup and high heels. At issue is whether women can make choices against our best interests of independence and freedom in order to gain conditional approval or protection at a high cost. At issue here is not that all women should be lesbians in order to be free, but that we understand that women's struggles for independence and freedom and self-empowerment are identified with lesbians as a way to frighten women away from them. All of us as women need to look at what blocks our empowerment. At issue here is not just our sexual identity, but our freedom. I want to challenge you. I have a challenge that I really want everybody to do. You could do it secretly, you could tell people about it, but do it. My challenge is this. Write a letter to someone you love intensely, whose loss you would find devastating, or someone who has power in your life, and tell them that you are a lesbian. Explore the fears this letter writing calls up and analyze their source and their power over you. It is only when we can face our fears and resist homophobia and heterosexist assumptions and attacks that we can begin to end male power and control over our lives. Thank you.